Hi guys, Nicoloco here. I made a tutorial video of how to do the basic Terran opener. Now that's the 10 supply depot, 12 racks, 13 gas, 15 orbital command and 16 supply depot. Now from there I told you that you could do many different things, but I want you to get familiar with how to use hotkeys, how to play the game in general. And to do that I really suggest that you go for a build where you don't have to micro your units a lot. Now for those who aren't familiar with what microing units is, it's just micro is when you run around with your units. Like I take this SCV, running him around like this is micro. Macro would be what you're doing in your base. All what I'm doing now is focusing on macro. So I'm getting up to 12 supply. Very nice, hello B, I'm very happy for you. I'm glad I can be of any assistance, that's why I do this. Building your barracks on 12 supply, exactly, you don't want to delay it. I'm going to send my scout out. Getting my 13th SCV, now that is short waiting time for your 13th SCV is normal, it should be there. Pulling my guy, building gas at once, I have 75 minerals, and just trying to get next SCV out. Now at 15 supply I'm going to do exactly what I did in my basic opener video. I'm going to continue and add on additional barracks, and I'm going to sorry Hello B, I'll answer you later. I'm going to continue adding on additional barracks, not getting supply blocked, and making units constantly. So I'm making a marine, I'm at 16 supply. My next step is to send my scout the right way and building a supply depot. Once I have 100 minerals, I want to put down the supply depot. Marines, constant production of marines, SCVs, dropping a mule. And now, after I put down the supply depot, I'm just waiting for 150 minerals to put down an additional barracks. Yeah, he's there. So now I have SCV producing, marine producing, one more barracks, SCV producing, still producing SCVs, watching my barracks that it is producing. I'm going to put down a supply depot now. And next I'm going to put down my third barracks. You see I'm getting quite some gas here. So maybe the gas was a bit too early, but we will spend that gas promptly. Reactor. Not supply blocked at all, that's very nice. Still producing. Tech lab, and as I know my opponent is going infantry heavy, let's scan him and see what he's doing. Yeah, he's 2 marines are pretty bad. And now I'm going to put down a reactor, one more reactor. Or shall I put down a tech lab? Now that's up for you to decide. Get stim at once, start producing. Get a tech lab there. Get another supply depot. Hotkey all my barracks. And now the production can start. Now I've done all the basic macro I need to do. Now I need to focus on supply. And I need to focus on constantly producing units. And as you can see, as I've been trying to point out with this build, is that I can't constantly produce SCVs and marines, marauders of this build. Now in addition, I need to build a supply depot now, so the next 100 minerals have to be for that. Supply depot, marines are completing. I cannot afford to build more marines at the moment. I can't afford to build a marauder. I do have the gas for it. So, I do have enough gas. Let's pull one guy off gas, or even, hang on, let's get, I have stim coming. Let's get combat shields, and then just pull 2 guys off gas.
Not enough minerals.
Now this doesn't allow you for a very macro intensive build. but it does open for a very safe play. Building another supply depot, I'm 5 supply away.
Not enough minerals.
Producing SCVs when I can. Producing Marines. Trying to produce a Marauder as soon as I can. But now you see my minerals are very low. Getting supply blocked for a short time, that's not a problem. Queuing another supply depot at once. No. Marines, Marauders, getting stim, getting getting Marine shields, and at this point I have a pretty nice army. Now this is a very nice way to get out a sizable army quickly, so you can defend. This army can defend whatever you need to worry about. Like there's not much that can take this army down, especially not attacking. So if you want to defend, you would just place your units like this if they're trying to bust up their ramp, and you can have a nice concave on them. Don't want to stim unless you have to. And if you want, you can cut some production, just one cycle, and you'll be able to put down expansion. Now, I did have to cut one Marauder there. Putting guys back on gas.
Not enough minerals.
Constant production of supply depots, SCVs, and I even have an expansion going. So this is beginning. This is looking pretty good. Now that I haven't been stockpiling gas for some time, you can see that my supply is fine. I'm producing now constantly, and it's pretty hard to have more units than I have at this point in the game. I'm gonna get my second gas, get ready to transition into whatever I want. Now if I want to, I can transition to tanks, I can transition to Banshees. I have 2 tech labs here. You can easily just lift off your barracks and start building starports there instead. So 2 guys on gas. Expansion is finishing at a very nice time. Want to not get supply blocked again. When this finishes, I will have some headroom for supply. Don't want to make a Marine there. And now I've expanded. Expansion timing is pretty hard to determine when you should expand, but safe to say that you can expand when you have 400 minerals and you aren't spending them then and there. Now this is a pretty big army, and at the 10-minute mark, if you have this army, you can be happy. That's all I can promise you. Don't want that. So now I have 200 minerals. I'll be keeping supply depot construction up at all times. I want to transfer workers to my expansion. I transfer a lot of workers because I don't want to have this. I want to have my saturation mainly now at my expansion. Hotkey it as well, and still you want to produce SCVs.
Not enough minerals.
Now from now on you want to drop mules in your expansion. So that's just a quick pointer on how to get the 3 racks build from the basic opener. Building a starport, getting a reactor on my factory so I can switch. Dropping a mule, getting double gas on my expansion, and now I'm open to do whatever I want. Now you should add on 1 or 2 barracks. 2 barracks would be fine. You will have the income to support it. And getting concussive shells, another supply depot, and then with the next minerals I save up, I want to be able to put down 2 more barracks. You want to start producing a couple of medevacs before you do this, just because you want to have all production facilities producing at all times. You don't want to focus too much on anything but not getting supply blocked, constantly producing and expanding. Now I can put down 2 more barracks. As soon as they complete, I have hotkeyed this now. You can put down an engineering bay. You can put down 2 engineering bays. Put guys on gas. I haven't needed the extra gas until now. and keep producing supply depots. And as you can see, if you would like now, you can push out, you can do whatever you want. You'll have a sizable army, and if you've done everything correctly, supply drop, if you've done everything correctly, you'll have more than your opponent, and he has 3 units. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But basically, you look at your minerals, you have them really low, and you are producing supply depots at a constant rate. I'm running totally dry in my main. This is what I'm saying. You can't produce constantly off 3 racks, and because you expand so late that you'll run very fast. You'll run dry in your main quickly,
Additional supply depots.
and you'll want to expand again. Now that's not a problem, because you can just do that here. The point being that I'm at 200 food army at around 15-20 minutes, and it's pretty good, to be honest. It's a safe way to go. The only thing that you really need to worry about is will be things that heavily defeat infantry, but you have a nice mix, and you can adjust your mix to whatever you like it to be. Let's just stim some guys here. Take this, take that. And I'm now upgrading. I'm at 200 food, and I'd like for you to sit down in a game against a custom game against AI. I'd like to see how fast you can get 200 food. Now I'm not at 200 food to be exact, but let's not nitpick here. Yeah, I'm at 200 food.
Additional supply depots required.
Supply drop to get the additional food. I'm going to transfer some workers to my my gold expansion. It's not up yet, but that's not a problem. Okay, 17 minutes flat, 200 food. I want you to sit down in the build in a custom game against AI. Get 200 food as quickly as you can, and don't give up until you have it by at least 17 minutes. I could probably have done it a bit quicker. But if you have it any slower than 18 minutes, or at least 20 minutes, you need to try again as often as you can. Constant production of SCVs. Now I'm not going to continue producing SCVs now, because obviously I can't, but also because I'm pretty happy with the amounts I have. I haven't counted, but something tells me that I'll be fine with the amounts I have. 2 guys on this gas, 2 guys on this gas.
Upgrade complete.
And armory is about to finish, so I can get my my 2-2 upgrades. And with the minerals I'm floating now, I only want to focus on production. So if I lose my entire army, I want to be able to reproduce quickly. So I'll build 4 more barracks. Let's say I build 8 more barracks. And this isn't, I'm not exaggerating here. You need to build 8 more barracks. Get 2-2.
Mineral field depleted.
And mineral field depleted. Now you don't want to transfer them to your 3rd base, so you'll get a 4th. Now this is just basics. I'm keeping my minerals low even though I am at 200. I won't be needing any more production facilities now, but I wouldn't mind placing down just a couple more. You can never get enough production facilities at once you lose your entire army. That's what I can tell you at once. If you were to run your entire army into a line of siege tanks, you could so easily reproduce it by having all these barracks. Now I have 15 barracks. Upgrading them. And that's how you do the 3 racks opener. Good luck, have fun guys.